My Swiss chard came up. Oh, the thing that did not come up at all, which I did 2 different kinds, was the spinach. Spinach is also another one that's tough to get to come up. It likes to come up in the cool weather. And even inside, it's not cool enough for it. So maybe this little cool front will help it to germinate. We'll wait on that. All right, and then my kale, I got lots of wonderful kale came up, and my collards and my cauliflower came up. So that's great. One thing I would change if I had to do my seed starting over again is I would get a 4-bulb grow light. And I'll put a link down below in the description on a 4-colored grow light that I like. But I got the 2-bulb grow light because, you know, that's what I could afford at the time. But the sprouts on the edge of the tray do get leggy. They reaching towards the light in the middle, in the center. So they do get leggy. So that is one thing I would definitely change about my seed starting system if I could do it again. But fortunately, it's pretty nice weather. So on cloudy days like this, I can bring my seeds out and leave them out here, and they might even get a little bit of rainfall. That's great. I just have to watch that I don't leave them out in a torrential rainstorm and crush them. All right, guys, the winter crops are going in. The first thing I do is consult my gardening plan, see where I'm gonna put these bad babies. There's my plan. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put my carrots that germinated right there. And then I'm gonna pop my kale in and my baby bok choy. And go ahead and do my lettuce here. And I think that's it. The first thing we're gonna do is carrots. They're little bitty. You even see that, it's so tiny. They're little bitty, but we're gonna sink them in anyway. And I'm gonna germinate some more inside. So at least this worked. I got my carrots to germinate. Now this time, these little starters from Jiffy Stars, I really like them, but I didn't really like the way the roots had to grow through this mesh. And so this time I'm gonna take off the mesh, and it held together really well. So I'd rather plant them this way so the roots can come out more easily. All right, guys, I should mention that I hardened these off a little bit by putting them outside each day, just to get them hardy. But the next 2 days, they're forecasting rain. So that'll be perfect. 2 days of rain will be great to really get them established really well. In goes our kale. We did 4 types of kale this year. We love kale. We did scarlet kale, Siberian dwarf kale, dwarf blue kale, and Latino kale or dinosaur kale. So that should be plenty of kale for us. We eat kale every single day. And now I'm gonna sink in my baby bok choys. This is going to be my lettuce patch underneath these fall tomatoes. My chive plant set seeds in spring and it put all these little baby chive plants. Now I don't want this much onion chives in my garden, but they're great for recipes. So I just let them grow up, pull them up young, and put them in recipes. They really make things delicious. I'm gonna plant my red sail lettuce and my butter crunch lettuce and my winter's Landys lettuce right here. I'm gonna sink in a few basil here and there, and then I better go in. It is starting to get dark. I can see the mosquitoes in just a cloud around me, but so far my herbal mosquito repellent is holding strong. Yay! Bye, see you guys later. All right, my broccoli and cauliflower are gonna go in this sweet potato pit. Sweet potatoes are gone, so the winter crops move in. I did something a little bit different this year. I decided to do purple sprouting broccoli and green sprouting broccoli. And what that means is this sprouting broccoli has a head on it, but then it keeps coming up with this with other little sprouts. So it's not like broccoli rab, but maybe it's a cross between the two. We'll see. I'll show you what I think of it when it comes up. So cauliflower and sprouting broccoli, yum. Looking forward to those two. Now only 4 of my calendula flowers came up, but I've got some old plants that, remember, I deadheaded. I cut them back, and I really think once the cool weather comes in, they will revive and really start to bloom. Remember, calendula really likes the cool weather, and the blossoms, the purpose of having the blossoms is you can make a really healing salve out of them. So I've got some new plants here I'm gonna sink in just for insurance, just in case those old plants don't really come back like I think they're going to. Last but not least is my beets. I just had 5 beets germinate. So if you have any ideas about how I can get my beets and my spinach and my carrots to germinate, and please don't send me a message from Oregon. This is Dallas, Texas. We have certain circumstances that have to be sown shallow, and it's hard to keep that top layer moist, and also the cool weather. They really wait for the cool temperatures to germinate. So it's really hard to get them to germinate in time for them to really get up and get started before the winter weather hits. So let me know if you're in the southern hemisphere and you have a trick for getting your beets and your carrots and your spinach to germinate. My spinach didn't germinate at all indoors under the grow light. I'm still waiting. I hopefully they will, and I only got 5 beets. But okay, well that's 5, I'll take it. I'm gonna plant them in the ground now. All right, well that's the last of my fall season crops. I'm gonna be working especially hard to baby these crops, meaning to keep them moist if it doesn't rain so that they can get a good head start. So I planted kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, spinach didn't germinate. We did a few carrots, a few beets, well of course we have sugar snap peas, and then we have our warm season crops. We have our zucchini and our yellow squash, hopefully going to be sprouting any day now, and we have our green beans too. So we have kind of a little bit of a warm season crops going, and our peppers still, and then we have all the cool season crops stuck in. I think I forgot to say collards. I think I got them all. All right, I hope that you are sinking in your cool season crops, or that you're already harvesting a bounty out of your garden. Happy gardening and homesteading. Bye from Bloom Where You're Planted.